is the Monday Morning Motivator with Magooch. Good morning, and welcome to the Monday Morning Motivator Meeting. This is Jessica Magooch, CEO of JPM Sales Partners, and I'm sharing everything I learned recruiting, training, leading, coaching, motivating a 9-figure sales team from zero to over $100 million in revenue in just 3 years. And today, I really wanted to share with you what I felt like are the 6 pillars of effective and authentic sales leadership, because over the next few weeks, we're going to be going through a series of taking you through step by step through building an effective sales leadership for your team and all the components that go into that. So whether you're a new sales leader who, is coming into this without much sales management training, or you've been sales leading for a while and you're just not sure if you're doing it right and you're not sure how to break that next barrier, these 6 pillars are going to help you. Cool? And I'm happy to announce that we'll be putting together a program to help you with these 6 pillars as well. So, first of all, your main goal is obviously to crush those revenue goals, right? But as far as it comes to quotas and everything else, we don't want those to actually be our goals. You want to create a system and a sales management program that is running over and over continuously and generating results on autopilot so that your quotas become irrelevant, right? You're setting your own targets that are way beyond whatever those quotas are because you have the system in place that can do that for you. So number one pillar is recruiting, right? Now, this might seem like an afterthought, like something you figure out later, but really if you need to learn how to attract the right salespeople into your team, which means you need to have a recruiting message and a funnel that gets the right people to apply to your role, and then you need to know how to assess them, right? Because if we don't have the right people to work with, then we're just climbing an uphill battle. Number 2 is you need to know how to train them. So ignore what they say about what their past experience is, how old they are, how long they've been doing sales. None of that matters. Everyone gets the same core sales training program when they come on board. I love doing boot camp style trainings where they're in and out in a week and they've got everything they need to know to make their first sale, right? So, and if you can train green reps who've never sold before, right out of college or a couple years in the market, or just making a career transition, but have the right intention and love your product, you have a game changer and a serious advantage in the market if you can do that, because a lot of your competition is looking for seasoned reps and kind of recycling the same people over and over. But we know only 5% of them are going to give you those max out results that you want. So that's not always the best place to look for existing salespeople. Number 3 is then you need to motivate them. Now, motivating salespeople can seem like this like big mystery, right? Like, how do you do it? No one has ever taught you how to motivate people. So motivation skills, they don't come naturally unless you think about them. You might not be incorporating them into your sales environment, right? And it might seem like an illogical investment, right? Like you're trying to tackle these problems associated with not reaching your sales goals. And so you would think you have to fix problems. But in fact, if you spend your time motivating and developing a positive culture and pumping your team with positive energy on a daily basis, that is a critical component to creating an environment where they will be effective sellers and apply all that stuff you taught them into the field at the right time. It's also going to help them, pick up the phone when they're tired or beat down or rejected, right? Number 4, that being said, motivation. Number 4 is accountability. So what is accountability? Accountability is basically knowing what your standards of performance are and that you'll be upheld to them, right? So accountability and motivation, they go hand in hand. Without motivation, accountability really just comes across as micromanagement, right? So if you've ever felt like you're managing too much and too strong, it's because you're not balancing it with the motivation on the other side. They don't know the why behind why they're being pushed, right? The personal and their inner motivations and desires. So I come across this a lot with sales teams. There are no standards of performance. The salespeople might know what their end goal is, but they don't exactly know how to get there. And then they also don't know under what circumstances they would be fired or terminated. So you need to have clear standards of performance of what they need to do on a weekly basis, monthly, annual, and what are the minimum requirements to keep your job, right? Where everyone knows if this doesn't happen, then you'll be asked to find another opportunity to work for, okay? Having those very clear, set up front with that balance of motivation is huge. So that takes us to step number 5, pillar 5, which is coaching. So what is coaching? I thought all these other things were coaching, right? So sales coaching is a one-on-one time with reps. It's different from training where you're teaching them sales skills. Sales coaching is where you get inside their inner motivations and desires, their personal income goals, their lifestyle goals, their family goals, and you help them understand why they haven't gotten to that point thus far, right? What limiting beliefs are holding them back from achieving those targets? Because even before they worked with your company, they had many opportunities to reach those targets. So why not? And why here, right? So you're going to break that down for them as far as not only the activity and the sales targets that they need to do to get there. That's the byproduct. What the core of it is understanding what are the limiting beliefs in their way, why they haven't gotten there already. And then you'll need to work with them one-on-one to take those apart and replace them with new beliefs that will help them, that will lead towards a successful mindset, right? Because they're really stuck in a failure mindset. So we need to move them out of that so that they can achieve the results that you want. Then you apply the training and the accountability and the numbers and the metrics, and all of that are just how to get, the measurable parts of how to get to where they want to go. It's kind of like the woo-woo part of sales management, but it's also the best investment you can make. You can get up to a 4 times ROI on your sales training if you include sales coaching on that, and that's from Brain Shark. Here's the thing though, most sales managers only spend 20% of their time sales coaching. And the stats from the field are that they think that they're coaching more, or they think that they're coaching when they're actually training. Okay, so there's a very big difference. So most sales managers spend 20%, but we really want to flip that and get that to 80% of your time. Okay, and you might think that's impossible, but the way you do that is by automating everything else that we've gone over so far. So you're spending 80% of your time on the part of your job that is the most effective long-term, which is coaching. And then the 6th pillar is management. Now, you thought, hey, I'm a sales manager, right? How is that just one part of it? So managing is managing the systems for all the other 5 pillars that you've created. You do not manage people. That's a huge misconception, right? You don't manage your people, you lead your people, but you manage all the systems that go along with creating an automated sales team so that you don't burn out and you could spend more time coaching one-on-one, getting people to their personal, financial, and lifestyle goals. And then sales management is so much more rewarding when you can see people reach those goals, right? So managing the funnels, managing the playbooks, the training systems, the reporting, the CRM, the text, the automated text messagings, broadcast, the motivational touch outs during the day, right? Those are all things that you can manage. And next week, I'm going to give you some tips on automating those processes so you can spend more time on sales coaching. In the meantime, have a great week. Bye, guys.
It's the Monday Morning Motivator with Magooch.